You know, okay, you know what? Recording ending now. Just kidding. Welcome to the fucking podcast. That's staying in, not editing it out. Eat a dick.
Clint is drunk as shit.
Clint is drunk. Someone else.
Up.
I'm not drunk because I'm probably the only one not drunk. Will is getting schmammered. So awesome.
I think
Thanks.
I speak for the rest of the podcast and the internet when I say nerd.
You didn't say it right. Nerd. There we go.
Yeah, I think Clint's drinking Crown Black.
Crown
Will's up
Black
here drinking Malibu
Yep.
Black.
All right. Well, now that
And
we've
drinking
established,
water.
I'm drinking water. Yes, because I have things to do later on this evening. So moving on, we're actually doing top fights this time, unlike last time where we were like, hey, we're gonna do top fights, and then we were fucking lazy and it didn't happen. So I'm not Clint. I'm Ian. Clint is. Go ahead and introduce yourself
Drunk.
in case.
Clint is drunk.
Clint is drunk,
Finish
and
your sentence,
Will
Clint.
is still sucking penises. All right.
He
So,
hasn't stopped since the first podcast.
So what we're doing this time is rather than surprise each other, it's hard to describe fights if the other people haven't seen it. So we all saw each other's fights, and we're going to talk about it, but we haven't shared our opinions on them. So that's going to be a surprise. And I get to argue with drunks, so that's going to be fun.
I'm not drunk yet.
Not yet. Yet being the key point here. So
Yet
moving
is a key
on.
word in that
I
statement.
want to correct your statement. We are not drunks. We are just more awesome than you.
No, you are drunks, and awesomeness is not determined by blood alcohol level. So
Sure it is.
shut up. All right. So, in the usual fashion, let's get things rolling along. Will, what is your fight?
Mine is the fight between Neo and Smiths, I'll say, in the Matrix Reloaded. That's the second one. Right after Neo has talked to the Oracle and and her awesome bodyguard, talking to him in that courtyard, and he fights one Smith, which turns into a whole bunch of Smiths, and it's the one that has the bowling and the domino sound effects in it, because Neo is just beating the heck out of all of them. After they just swarm in there. And I just love it because my favorite part of this fight is when he, gets kicked or punched, I can't remember the exact one, up against the wall, and then decides to grab a street sign or some just random pole out of the ground, just rips it out of the ground, and then just beats the heck out of someone, and then starts using the metal pole as just an awesome staff, and it's just beating the snot out of all of them. Best hit being when it goes slow-mo and some guy's jumping and then Neo just like baseball bats him, home run, hits him all the way up into some window. Oh, it's great. He does a few flips on the way. Fight ends when all these Smiths jump on top of him and Neo just, goes full badass and just, Super Saiyans up and then just kind of flies away after like exploding of awesome as all the Smiths fly off of him and he flies away.
Yeah, and they just kind of walk away nonchalantly as if nothing happened.
He knocks them off, and then that's when the bowling pin thing happens, and he throws one.
No. Right at the very end when they're all dogpiled him, he just like, boom, big huge explosion of Smiths, and he flies away. And
I'm pretty sure that it's the other one.
Nope.
So we'll check afterwards, and I will
put... Bowling into dominoes is when he just like hits them, and they just like, one dude like flies and knocks them all down.
You know what?
Right at the very end, it's just a big.
You know what? We'll check the tape later, and I will put the results in the text.
I'm checking it now. Let me just mute.
Eat a dick.
There we go.
All right, so I don't know. With this fight, my issue with it is like, it's funny and entertaining, but it's like in this fight that's built around all these. Yeah, it's not realistic, but it seems so cheesy compared to all the other Matrix fights up to that point. Don't get me wrong, it's an awesome fight, but my logic against it is the fact that like
the animation is awful.
the animation is pretty awful. He looks really fake.
I enjoy it because it's so bad. I think it's one of those things. It's so bad, it's good.
It's so bad it's good, but the fact that you have to call it so bad it's good is the reason why I don't think it's as good as my fight or yours.
I think
Clint's
is number one after watching it just because it's awesome. But
okay, well that sucked. I apologize for that. My headset turned off.
Sucks.
Don't worry, we didn't miss you. You're not important. Just kidding.
But what I was trying to say, yeah, it's so good because it's so bad. Also, I just rewatched the last few seconds of it. Will suck a dick. Lawstorm or Ian was correct.
Yes.
He does the explosion and then he throws the guy through, knocking the others down with the bowling pin sound. Probably, I had it muted so it didn't go through my mic, but I'm gonna assume that that's a good time to add that sound. And then he just flies off.
Dicks.
Well, my internet's so bad that I don't want to check.
Well,
because I think I would lag out on Skype.
Like he checked for you, and he's an impartial bystander.
I still have it in my head, and I want to verify it. You know.
Well, you can verify it when you're fucking done. How about that?
I'll take you guys' word for it for now. I'll just say that I'm confused and maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing. But
it starts at 7:40.
Well, that's the very end of the video. So F me, go Lawstorm for winning that.
There's a lot of retarded shit that happens in that fight. So
who cares? It's awesome. It's badass. It's great.
It's awesome because it's so terrible.
It is awesome because it's terrible.
I love that fight.
But in case anyone is wondering, if you want to see any of the fights that we're going to be mentioning, I'll put a link to them in the comment section below. You can't see me, but I'm pointing downwards right now.
I wouldn't say it'd be in the comment section. I'd say it'd probably be in the
video in the fucking description, because, you know, I'm not going to put it in the comment section because I'm not commenting on my own video. I'm not that big of a loser.
He's going to comment on his own video. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah, like 27 times.
On the first one, I said I commented first.
You did. Eat a dick. All right.
Nom.
No. No. You don't make that sound in response to eat a dick. No.
That's just painful.
No, like, first off, that's gross, because then that is an implication that you're actually eating a dick, and secondly, that's that you're, like, chomping on it with teeth. And that's... Ugh. Alright, so moving on from that disgusting piece of... yeah, I guess we'll go with Clint. Yeah, what is yours?
What was mine again? Oh, right. All right. So mine was the fight in Sword Art Online. Let's say this is probably halfway through the first arc, in which they're actually in the game Sword Art. Kirito finds himself with Asuna and
Klein.
Klein and his buddies.
And his guild.
And they encounter another guild, the army, who accidentally stumbled into the boss room, which actually is a no teleport zone, so they're kind of trapped. They're fighting.
Which they find out after they walk in.
Yeah, they find out after they get in.
This is on floor 75.
Yeah, they find out.
Current progression floor level.
Let me. So this is currently the top floor of a game where if you fucking die, you die. So what happens here is they get trapped into this room. Kirito's trying to buy them time. He finds out it's not going to happen. And he decides the only way for them to get out is if one person distracts the boss while everyone gets out. So Kirito has essentially sacrificed himself to buy them time. He intends to run the second they're out, but the only way they're going to be able to get out is if he keeps it busy the entire time that they're escaping. Well, Kirito apparently forgot that he is such a badass that he can beat the boss by himself. He falls into a bit of trouble and unveils his skill that he had hidden, which is the dual blade skill, meaning he can
skill.
Yes, he can dual wield his two swords, which you see him get his second sword, his sword made of dragon poop. I would like to also emphasize that point.
Yeah.
And he fights the boss and kills it. Again, I want to repeat, this is current progression boss in a game where if your character so much as dies once, you die in real life and you are gone forever. This is also at a point where while people are getting better and more skilled at the game, each floor comes with more casualties than anyone would desire.
One thing on that though, I've read the books, which are very good, and one thing on why this 75th floor was such a crazy thing, not only because it had so few, but so few people fighting the boss, I should say.
One.
But yeah, a couple, because Alsa and Klein did help a little bit.
Well, he kind of came with the bosses at 75% health, but you know.
Yeah. Okay. So in the book it states every 25 levels a boss was crazy hard. So on the 25th floor, the book said
this was not
that
the
boss
75th
was
floor.
crazy hard.
I'm sorry.
50th floor, boss crazy hard. 75.
I need to interrupt.
Boss
this
crazy
is not
hard.
the 75th boss. This was the 74th. The 75th boss is the Reaver, which was the giant skeletal centipede thing that they fight.
I thought that was 76.
No, that's the 75th. That was the super boss, remember?
Anyways,
such a ridiculous fight where they had to bring in like...
no, I do agree. I'm sorry. I messed up.
Yeah.
We're getting a bit off track here, but...
No, we're not.
Well, I don't know whether to give him bonus points for having a dragon poop sword or negative points for having a dragon poop sword.
It's pretty dragon poop. It looks like a diamond sword from Minecraft. Bonus points.
Do you like my sword?
The fact that he's able to use this great weapon without thinking back to the fact that it is dragon poop, I give him bonus points.
Bonus points.
Okay, maybe a little bonus points, but here's once again to play the guy who's like, this is why this might not be as good fight. Don't get me wrong, it's fucking badass, and it's really, really awesome if you've watched the anime up to that point, or if you've read the manga or whatever. You can definitely
it's a book, not a manga.
I don't give a shit. Whatever. If you've read whatever words, if you did that whole thing where you read and shit, like if you have followed the story up to that point, the fight is infinitely better than if you're, say, someone on YouTube looking at a top fights video and you just see it.
Yeah, but I think this is a good fight. No.
Let me finish my point.
Clint, hold on a second.
I'll let you have your moment, but just what my point is that the difference between your fight and Will's fight is, while Will's fight is corny and cheesy, it doesn't matter whether you've seen The Matrix or not. It still is it has pretty much the same impact. You don't need to have seen The Matrix to understand it, because basically at that point in The Matrix, if you were the first time watching it around, you're just as what the fuck is anyone watching it in normal time. They'd be like, why the fuck are there so many of these dudes? And in the actual thing, you're like, why the fuck are there so many Agent Smiths?
Question.
Yeah, because that kind of is the first time you reveal that this one dude is like hacked his way into being
Agent Smith.
Yeah.
Irrelevant. Point is that, like, you're going to be wondering, why are there so many of those dudes? But it doesn't matter, because if you haven't seen The Matrix, you can still enjoy the fight on the same level as someone that has seen The Matrix, because it has the same impact. Whereas if you're someone that, say, hasn't watched Sword Art Online, you don't really know exactly the level. It doesn't have the same level of impact as if you know exactly the scenario. Now, knowing that scenario, because I've seen that anime, and that was an intense situation. I was stoked. I was like jumping out of my seat, giddy.
I watched it as it went on, and I was actually on the edge of my seat. I was like, "Oh my god, are they actually going to kill the main character? This would be really interesting if they do." I hadn't read the books until I started 6 months ago, and we read the first one.
You only read the first book so far?
Yeah, it takes me a long time to read things. But
no problem.
Anyway,
the first book's really good.
I watched this as it goes. I was like, I thought it would be a really interesting aspect if they actually killed the main character, but they didn't. They kept with the normal, he's the main character, he's not going to die thing. But you don't know that when you get into that fight. You're just like, oh my god.
Yeah. It's not Game of Thrones, don't worry.
I don't watch that either, so.
Don't worry. If you ever,
they kill off every character.
If you ever do watch, just don't pick a favorite character, because it will die. That's my guess. But
yeah, my favorite character was a really hot redheaded chick that died recently. Like, dang it.
Mine was actually Sean Bean, but I should have known it's fucking Sean Bean. He's gonna die.
I haven't watched the show, but
he
my dad
lasted longer than he should have.
And I saw this chick, and I was like, "Oh, she's hot." And then
he's like, "Yeah, she's dead."
Yeah, that's his favorite character. Well, anyways, moving on in case we've spoiled stuff for people. That fight though.
I don't think no. I want to go ahead and interject here. I don't think that you have to have seen the anime to enjoy this fight, because the way he goes on fighting this boss, it's really epic. It's a really fun fight to just watch.
I never said you did have to watch
the
anime to enjoy it.
You literally just did.
No, what I was saying is that you enjoy it much more if you've known the backstory. You don't enjoy it as much if you don't know the circumstance.
I don't think so. I think if you watch it knowing the backstory, you get a little nervous watching the fight.
Exactly. And it has that much more of an impact. that's what I'm saying is that there's far less of an impact and a wow factor because you're like, oh, it's just some dude. Like if you're watching it from the outside, it's like, oh, well, some guy disappeared. I don't know. That's kind of weird. Maybe it's a game. Oh, well, he pulled out a second weapon. What's the big deal about him dual wielding? I don't really know. They're kind of making like it's a big deal. I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
He's still being a badass, taking on this thing. You don't know.
No.
You like watching it. You don't know that it's the super big, like insane boss that's like fuck the world.
Well, he's not that super big and insane. It's the next boss. But I've gotten people to start watching Sword Art based on this fight alone.
Oh, I'm not saying.
To say that you need to see this show is a little underestimating the fight itself.
Not saying you need to see it. My thing about it is that the level of enjoyment you can have from seeing it the first time while watching the show is a fair amount higher than the level of enjoyment you can have from watching it without seeing the series. Whereas with, Will's video and mine, which I'll describe later, you don't need to have seen the movie to enjoy it just as much as someone who has seen the movie.
I still don't think that that's true. I still think it is an amazing fight, and I think it still has value to people who haven't seen the show. As I said, I've used this fight as an example to get people to actually sit down and watch the show, to understand just what they were dealing with and how difficult things are.
Once again, I'm not saying that it's not still a really good fight. It's still a really good fight, but the fact that you lose something if you haven't seen the show, like it's not at the same level watching it without seeing the show as watching it with seeing the show. I feel like there's just a little bit more enjoyment. It's still a very strong fight, don't get me wrong.
I want to point out that my fight was the only fight that is pure action and not comedy.
Hey.
Mine is pure action.
Will's wasn't supposed to be comedy.
That's comedy. I'm sorry. I spent more time laughing at your fight, Will, than I did actually going, no, that's badass.
Well, either way, though, we can
We
can choose to agree to disagree. People in the comment section below, and by people, that means, I guess whoever decides to... Derek,
all three of you.
Your brother.
Derek, you're watching this video. I know you're watching it right now. I'm talking to you. I want you to answer this question.
Audience, I have a challenge for you. Take
Audience
a shot
of
every
Derek.
time Ian says something dumb.
What? Shut the fuck up.
Now you're dead.
So, Derek, I want you to put a comment in the section below, because you're going to be the only one who does. Do you think that fight is awesome, or do you think you'd have more value if you watched the series?
That seems like you're undercutting the awesome.
And if you haven't watched the series, you need to watch it. No excuses at all into not watching it.
Fantastic.
Nerd!
It is fan-fucking-tastic, amazing anime.
It's even better if you watched it subbed.
You might enjoy it if you watch it in the actual, language that I'm going to link in the section below. English. You should watch that one there.
How about you watch it in the language that it was intended to be watched in?
I'm sorry, did you speak that language? No, you don't. Shut the fuck up. All right, moving on. So,
hey, hold on a second. I bet your fight would be better if you watched it in the language that it was intended for.
Actually, no. I think it has more comedic value.
It really does in English.
I agree, actually.
Value. I think this fight has more action value, and it's more intense when you watch it in the anime because, let's just face it, Kirito has an amazing voice actor, and Asuna is wonderful and full of emotion, unlike in the English dub. I apologize to anyone who likes English, but it's just...
I like not having to read. That's my thing. It's just...
No, your problem is you can't read.
Not very well.
Missing out.
But anyways,
like you're saying, with someone that hasn't watched the series, you're missing out by not watching subbed.
Okay, we can have like an entirely different conversation about why the fuck I don't watch dubs later. Oh my god. Fuck. I don't watch sub when there's dub available because I do enjoy some dub voice actors, as well as I don't like having to pause and rewind just to be able to read because I'm that weak of a reader. So
that weak of a reader? That's
weak
what I heard.
Of a reader.
This
can't speak.
This week on the podcast, Ian admits that he cannot read.
I can read very well.
Okay.
Eat a dick. All right. So.
Yum, 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 yum.
No. Anyways. Yeah. Fuck it all. No,
Oh god.
A little left. Nom.
There was multiple dicks? Why are there multiple dicks?
The entire thing. It was pretty cool.
Oh, and there's one left. One whole penis left. So you mean each num is nom nom nom. That's four dicks. You ate four dicks, and then it was like, oh, one left.
And that was just a couple inches larger. So I don't know.
God, just.
I wouldn't have paying attention to the color.
Today.
All right. So moving on to my fight, away from Will's dick eating. My fight is I debated which fight from this movie to go for. It was Jackie Chan's The Drunken Master, and I picked the fight where he first showcases his ability to drunken box while getting tossed drinks.
No, it's not his ability to drunken box. It's his ability to only be able to box when he is drunk.
Yeah,
he literally was a piece of shit until they got him hammered.
Yeah, no, he's better when he's better when he's actually been drinking. But the more alcohol he drinks, the better he gets at fighting. So it's funny because not only is his fighting style ridiculous and his facial expressions hilarious and the things he says ridiculous,
is absolutely god-awful.
And the dubbing is hilarious too. But the fact is, he's constantly being tossed drinks mid-fight and finding creative ways to drink them while still fighting. And first off, it's got a lot of action, incredible choreography, very creative way of fighting. And
Question.
Yes.
Question. What does it mean when there's a picture of a skull on it?
Good stuff. But, anyways, so it's a lot of fun. It's funny, but it's also very well done action as well. And what I like about it is, I like the way that Jackie Chan incorporates his martial arts in the movies, because it's not like, it's incredible to watch and impossible to do unless you're that good. Here's
the thing.
Hold on.
No. This has to do with the action and the fighting and whatnot involved in your both of your submissions that you sent to us. So you ended up changing your mind, but in both of those, it became very clearly obvious that both of the fighting by the parties was not filmed at the same time. So it was kind of just like the Matrix one that Will submitted. It was pretty fake, and you could tell. And
I think the choreography.
I'm not gonna lie, it was entertaining. It was great, but it was. I think I can't sit there and say, him fighting all these dudes. He wasn't actually fighting a bunch of dudes, though.
Neither was, the guy in yours. It was a bunch of, pencils.
Mine's an anime, but that's different.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, is that as far as the type and style of fight,
at least the actual fighting was smooth, as opposed to, you can very clearly tell that he actually didn't hit anything.
It's an incredible amount of choreography, though, and very precision, difficult to do moves. It's something that's entertaining to watch. You can see tons of crazy moves that you're not going to see in other movies. You're not going to see people fighting like that in other movies. It doesn't happen. And that's the thing, is that, you're going to see...
watch any other Jackie Chan movie.
Well, Jackie Chan doesn't always drunken box quite like that. Like, it's that particular style is a little bit different from the other things Jackie Chan does, but Jackie Chan's style in general is just, very kind of comedic.
His drunken boxing and any other Jackie Chan is because he just kind of sways a little bit when he stands up.
But
if you've seen any Jackie Chan movie, you've seen this fight scene.
Well, either way,
I agree.
The fact that the fight is awesome. It's incredible. I
love Jackie Chan. It's Jackie Chan at his best. So if you don't like Jackie Chan, you're not gonna like it. Much like if you don't like anime fights, you might not like your fight. And if you don't like Matrix fights,
this thing it breaks them up.
No, fair enough. Some people don't like anime.
Some people don't like anime fights. They're like, oh, this is boring. It's anime. I know people that don't like anime fights.
I'm sure I could find someone that doesn't like Jackie Chan, but
yeah,
whatever.
There's someone who's not going to like Jackie Chan as well. But the thing is that, Jackie Chan has a style, and this is Jackie Chan.
Reeves. I am one of them.
Yeah, this is Jackie Chan at his best, doing what Jackie Chan does phenomenally. Entertaining while doing insane choreography, hard to do moves, and doing it while having a smile on his face and putting a smile on our faces.
It's
Oh,
always
the
kind of a
smile?
doofy smile too. It's
It's
great.
always a goofy smile. And I was debating recently between that fight and the one at the end of the movie, the final fight. But this one had him getting tossed drinks in the middle of it, and more, multiple
Comedy
guys
in the
on
failed
once, a
up.
little bit more comedy. Whereas, there was comedy in that last one, but it was just essentially a one-on-one, fists on fists, not as many additional props. And I like the use of Jackie Chan with unusual props you don't normally see in a fight. Like
Basically, watch Rush Hour. Any of the three, he'll use some sort of goofy prop. Him
Yeah.
or Chris Tucker. Is that the other guy?
Yeah.
The
But-
hilarious black dude.
I
They use
don't-
props in that all the time in the fights. So
I
basically,
like-
if you've seen any Jackie Chan movie, you've seen this fight scene, which is my only
Yeah.
take on it.
The only thing you haven't seen is him stumbling around when he's not currently
And being thrown
punching something.
bottles.
Well, I don't know. Like if you've seen anime sword fights, you've seen your fight scene. If you've seen
No, I
any
don't
of the
think so, actually.
Yeah,
I-
people
I-
can make
Probably
that
find
argument.
one, Clint. You could probably find one.
You can probably
one
find
that's
some, and that's what I'm
maybe
saying.
Similar, but not exactly the
Well,
same.
yeah, and you're not going to see something that's exactly the same as the Jackie Chan fight either. They're each a part of their own genre, and they each have fights that are similar to them.
Mhm.
It's just they each are the pinnacle of their own group. Like this is, one of the top Jackie Chan fights out there. Not everyone's gonna say that this is his best one, but it's my favorite personally.
Yeah, I love his Rush Hour fights. His Rush Hour fights are great.
I love his Rush Hour fights too. I have all 3 Rush Hour DVDs, and they're fantastic. And don't get me wrong, once again, not taking anything away from Sword Art Online. It's one of my favorite animes. I love it. It's fantastic.
Why
that
is it
fight.
one of? Why isn't it the?
Because it's not the.
What?
The second half takes away from it.
Well, the third half will probably help it.
The third half. So the movie is 3 halves long.
Good.
The movie is 4 halves long, actually.
Hey,
But
Clint, can we get like an alcohol count for you?
I have not finished my second drink.
In the book, though,
I'm
the
not
second
quite
part,
drunk
the
yet.
ALO part of Sword Art, is way better in the book.
Listen.
Incest.
Just ignore the forced incest. And it's
They're not
great.
even related, though, are they?
Well, no, it's true. They
Not
aren't
directly.
related, so it's not
It-
incest. But you still have that feeling
It's-
like this is the person you called your sister your entire life.
Yeah.
But there's also like
Kinda.
even ignoring that part for a second, it's just like there's this
It's
whole
like
build up.
Lost Arm. You're sitting there telling me it'd be weird if like you grew up with this person, you called her your sister your entire
No,
time.
no,
and
no,
she's
no,
like, I
I'm
like
not-
you, and you're like, well, okay. Oh yeah, I'm not actually your sister. All right, cool, let's bone. You're saying
No,
that wouldn't
I'm
be
not.
awkward?
Not no, no. That's not what I'm trying to get at. What I'm saying is that like, that part aside, even let's just say it was a normal romance that was building up. It was like build up, build
I'm
up, build up,
sorry,
and he's like, my heart's taken by someone else. He's like, okay, whatever. Conversation over. Just
Listen,
like-
all he has to do is say, hey, check out episode 16 and a half. You'll understand what I'm talking about.
I don't need to. Anyways,
Do you not know what episode 16 and a half is?
I haven't seen it in a while.
I'm pretty sure that's the
Have I seen
Yeah.
it?
fan-made one, right?
Oh, I have not seen that. Let's not do this then.
It's
Episode
a
16
Dosujinshi,
Shut
basically.
up.
It's not
No,
an episode.
Shut up. Episode 16 and a half does not exist. Chapter, I don't know which chapter it actually is in the first book and a half, does exist. Essentially, it is 16 and a
No, it
half.
doesn't.
Episode 16 and a half, yes, it does. I can prove
No.
it.
They
Episode
don't
16
actually do what they do in the Dosujinshi.
Yes, they do. Well, no, they bang. I'm sorry.
In the book, they don't. It doesn't
But-
ever say they do. It leads up to
It
it.
never
big
says
time.
they don't.
It never says they don't, but it never says they do.
Hey.
So the Dosujinshi is completely fake. It's completely fan-made. It's not in the book.
Can we stop
Episode-
talking
what-
about
what do you mean?
the
Episode 16 and a
anime
half.
incest?
Episode, no.
Not
no,
incest,
it's-
actually.
Let me
In the
explain. Let me explain. Episode 16 and a half is the point where, if you recall, after Kirito nearly gets killed by the crazy fucktard who was like Asuna's guard, he spends the night with Asuna. During that night, Asuna strips down in front of him and he gets confused and all that stuff. And essentially something happens and they wake up and Kirito is looking out the window.
Clothes.
Asuna is, well, yes, but Asuna isn't.
It doesn't appear to be.
There's no bra strap.
Yeah,
There's
you
no
don't see a
straps at
bra
all.
strap.
She's holding the clothes up past her breasts. So clearly something happened. So that's what episode 16.5 is. It's essentially they bone.
Yeah, it's the filler.
And the book actually points out that the boning is possible.
Possible, yes, but it never actually says it happens. But it
Never
does
says it doesn't.
basically say it does.
Okay. Well, whether the anime boning may or may not have happened, to be determined another day.
Will it?
I do love that part of the book. It is funny.
So,
I like. I'll get into it later, but go ahead.
anyways, with this being said and the discussion of it, let's try and see if we can come to a conclusion as to who actually has the best fight. Unfortunately, it seems like our definition,
Clint's.
I think it's mine.
I think it's mine.
I'll give it to Clint.
Well,
Winner!
apparently the votes here are for Clint's fight. So, with that being said, not undisputed, but victory I will concede.
Majority vote, you could say.
Majority vote, yeah, democracy.
Here's the thing: aren't we all winners?
You know what? Maybe I'm the one who does the editing here. So,
Actually, no.
for all I know,
he
I'll
has
just put the
to
winner up
because
of mine.
A, he's
You can
not
suck a
drunk,
dick.
and B, he has to edit it. Clint, we are winners.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are all winners. We all
Ugh.
had great fights. They were enjoyable to watch. I
They
really
were.
really liked watching the Keanu Reeves what bullshit-a-thon that was.
Oh god.
It was entertaining. Jackie Chan's always fun to watch. Sword Art Online is awesome, but we all had great fights. They were great to watch. They were great to discuss. I think we're all winners here, but you know what? You guys can suck a dick because I won.
Well, at least you didn't try to eat it this time.
Nom 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 nom.
There it goes.
Fuck it up.
Fuck it all.
We should totally put that in the description. We're talking about the Let It Go College Humor parody. I think it's College Humor.
I might not post that because
It doesn't seem like college humor.
I don't know what
I
it
think
is.
it
Don't
might
give a
be,
shit.
actually. No, it's who
But-
cares?
Anyways.
Ian, if you don't put it in the description, I'm gonna comment it.
Okay, well then I don't care. Whatever. It might happen. So,
have to
we all had fun watching videos, and the best part was getting to watch tons of awesome fights, trying to determine what I actually wanted to do. Because I'd watched things from like Dragon Ball Z to tons of different Jackie Chan fights, and eventually decided on which Jackie Chan fight I wanted. So
I rewatched a lot of anime boxing and realized that posting an hour-and-a-half long video was not going to be appeasing to you guys.
yeah. So these fights are all the top 3 fights, and by top 3 I mean we only each picked one. Are all real easy to watch because they're not very long. So definitely watch them. They're all worth watching. Congratulations to
Watch Sword Art Online. This is
Or read it,
definitely
either
this
one.
is definitely not what's it called? Hypnosis? No.
You're right. It's definitely not hypnosis because
Yeah,
you're
it's
doing it
definitely
retardedly.
What is the term for when they just like
Subliminal messaging.
subliminal?
That's the one.
This is not a subliminal message.
Buy Coca-Cola. What?
Smoke.
Smoke.
No, do not.
Smoke. Smoking a pancake.
Are you smoking yet?
2 cigarettes at a time.
Chain smoke.
Cigars of the Cuban variety. I don't.
Barrel smoking.
Smoke.
Oh shit! My mic fell off.
Well, we are definitely no longer on track. So, yeah. Thanks for watching.
This is
Wait,
your
was ever
winner
a
here.
track?
I would like to say it was an honor talking about these fights with you guys. I hope next time you guys come up with better content. This was 3 Idiots on the Internet. Have a fun time.
Thanks for watching. New weekly question. This one's going to be a bit of an easy one. What was Keanu Reeves's first movie?